Welcome, everybody. We're going to have a good time. La, 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 la. Hi. Welcome, everyone. I am Ron. We are going to do exercise today in our Ageless Balance exercise class. It is going to, I brought a chair. I can lean on it. Lean on me. We're going to do arthritis exercises. This is our exercises that I got this program through the Arthritis Foundation. It's one of them that they promote through their exercise program. So we are going to go through, I have a lot of exercises. There's like 50 of them. We may not get through them all. We may not. Starting out with ears over shoulders over hips. We won't. I won't even push us that far. That hard. That hard. It's not going to be any fun if I do. All right. Knees, toes straight. So I had somebody in one of my classes, other classes, tell me that they went to their PT because of problems they were having. And the PT said, it's probably because of your posture. So she came back to me and said, you've got to push posture more. It's like, I do. I think I do. I try to. So I trying to make sure that I do alignment, knees, toes, hips, shoulders, everything stacks on top of the other joint, displacing the weight all the way through the body. So we want to make sure that everything is right. If we have something askew, like our toes out to the side, that puts stress on the ankles, the knees, and the hips. Your feet are your base. Everything starts there. If they bow out to the side, if you walk with the feet in like that, or with one foot out to the side, this is really common. I see this all the time where people have one foot that is out at an angle. Got to get it back in as much as you can. Work on that. All right. And that's what we do. We strengthen up the muscles in the correct alignment. So every exercise you need to concentrate on that alignment so that you're working the muscles so that the joints automatically go in that direction. Here's our warm up. We're going to start with arm swings, just like this. Up. Enough of that. And up. I'm going to move my chair. You keep swinging your arms. It's important. And here we go. Opposite leg, opposite arm. So as the hand comes up, opposite leg goes up, other side. Concentrate on the back, keeping the shoulder blades back as you do this. Hopefully you're out in your chair at least halfway out. If you can get all the way out to the edge of it, perfect. Up to you. You need to be able to keep your form. That's the most important thing. Hand up, a little higher, knee up a little higher. Make sure you're not leaning forward and up, and we're good. Little shoulder circles. Round back. Exaggerate the movements, forward, up, back, and down. The more we can warm these joints up, the more fluid we get into it, more of that synovial fluid gets into the joint, taking away some of that pressure, some of that pain that comes from having dry joints. Shoulder blades going forward now and around. Small, small, small. We're still going that way. And around and palms forward, arms right straight down to the side. Check your posture one more time. Ears over shoulders over hips. If I forget to tell us that on every move, think of it yourself. Think of that you have to do that if I forget. Palms forward, just bring the hands up, splay the fingers out. You want to get as much stretch through the fingers and through those knuckle joints as we can. Roll the hands over and push it down. Elbows right next to the side of the body. Back down. Tighten up the hands, tighten up the arms. You want to feel those muscles all the way up to the shoulder. Engage up as if you were actually picking up something heavy and pushing it back down again. Roll them over one more time. Pick it up nice and slow. Warming the muscles up, getting that elbow joint, wrists on this one, fingers, and back down. Rotation. Take your left hand outside the right thigh. Roll the shoulder blades back. As you come back, most important on this one, it's a great exercise, but we want to take the middle of the back. Center of the back is the only place that does rotation, the thoracic spine. So you want to take this back shoulder and roll it around, but keeping the hips right straight out front. So the middle of that back is turning. There is no rotation through the lower back. So if you try turning the hips at the same time, you're just causing stress on the lower back. And back in. All it does is pull the muscles, stretching them out, usually too far. Take that back shoulder, roll it first. Shoulder blades are back. You want that straight line through the shoulder blades. So you get that nice rotation through the spine. And back to the middle. We get really tight in that thoracic spine because we stop turning and looking. We have this tendency to just, instead of turning, we move our whole body. because it's supposed to be easier, I guess. I don't know. But this starts to hurt because we lose that rotation. Checking blind spots is a huge one for that one. All right, back to march. Marching, marching. Shoulder blades back, chest out. Bring it up and bring it up. Arms up right next to the head. As the leg goes up, so does the arm. Push. And back down, other side. Bring it up. Draw the leg up and arm up. Only go as high as is comfortable for you with that arm. First time we've gone overhead, maybe a little uncomfortable. Give it some time. Let it warm up. More juice you get flowing through those joints, the easier it's going to be. And up. Push. And push one more time each side. Bring that knee up as high as you can get it, keeping the back straight. Up on the other side and back down. Foot right straight out. We're going to do ankle rotations, working another set of joints here. Around and around. Ankle joints do not get moved enough. And it's another part. It's every joint. They start to tighten up because we don't use them. And around, going back the other way. Once we lose that flexibility, we lose that margin for error that we have. If we do trip, everything is so tight, you can't bend. The joints don't give the way they're supposed to. All right, other foot, same thing, circles. And again, ankles, feet are the base of support for the rest of the body. You want to make sure that you've got all sorts of flexibility there so you can make up for any errors. If you do step on something like a rock or uneven ground or an acorn as you have there, and around one more time. And back, that ankle's got to give to keep the torso upright. If it doesn't, it's going to take the entire body with it, and you're going to be on your side or your back or something that you don't want to be. All right, arms forward, roll the shoulder blades back, stretch the shoulders out. So we're taking the shoulder blades, bringing them back and down towards the hips, and then stretch the arms as far as you can get them, feeling the stretch through the upper back. We're going to take looking right out over those hands. We're going to do a little neck rotation. So we're going to bring the chin, eyes around with the arm. We're doing this. Roll the shoulder blades back. Stretch it out. Again, only go as far as is comfortable for your neck right now. We're warming it up. It will be much more flexible here in a little bit. And around to the other side. Follow it around. Get the vestibular system involved here. Working those eyes with the movement. And the brain, roll it back to center. We're going to do that one more time. Try to get just a little more rotation. That's why I like using the hands. I'm able to look or watching the hand go around. As I roll the shoulder blades back, it's easier for me to turn that head just a little bit more, just an inch. And anything I can get, I'll take. And out to the other side, same thing. Shoulder blades are back, still in that neutral position. Follow the hand around and down. Shake it out. All right, so we're going to do ear to shoulder. We want to do just the side bend with that neck. You can't turn it forward or lean forward and turn at the same time. You want to just come down on the side with the side bend, lengthening out that other side of the neck. Push the hand down. Ear right over the shoulder, keeping that alignment. That's what I was trying to say earlier. But I didn't do a very good job of it. Push that arm down. Feel the stretch going from below the deltoids, top of the shoulder, all the way up into the neck. And relax right here for a second. Shake it out. We're going to go to the other side. Find your neutral posture. Again, back does one thing, spine does one thing. We're going to tilt it to the side. Over. Take that opposite hand. Drive it out. Get those muscles stretched out. That feels really good. Down, get that. It's not, what I don't like is when people take the top of their head and they crank it down. Take what you can get just naturally. That extra pull using your hand can cause more problems than it can help. Your muscles are only going to stretch so far. Once they're there, that's it. You're done. So you just leave them in that position and let them warm up, let them stretch out there. All right, shoulder shrugs. Again, super important. Most important part of this, ears right underneath the ear, shoulders right underneath the ears, right straight up. Squeeze it together. Feel the muscles working on the outside of the neck and these trapezoids that run from the neck to the shoulders. Squeeze it up and drop it down. Roll the shoulder blades down. So as you come down, it's not just dropping the arms and letting them hang there. It's bring them down just a little bit more. using the muscles on the outside of the shoulder blades to draw them down, bring the shoulders down just a little bit more. Up, hold it up there. Feel those muscles tense up. Again, don't let the chin go to the chest. Shoulders should not be behind the neck, right next to it. And nice and slow, let them drop. And then when you get to the bottom, pull down just a little bit more. It's an eighth, a quarter, a 16th of an inch is all you get, but you feel the difference. There's that little bit makes a lot of difference in the stretch. Shoulders up one more time. Taking the left shoulder first, drop it down. Keep the right one up. And alternate left up, right down. Seesaw. And other side. Remember the devil on one shoulder, angel on the other? We're giving a seesaw ride. Down and up. Another way. And back, down. Shake that out. Arms out to the outside. We're going to bring the arms down to the side, roll the shoulder blades back, chest is out. Accentuate this move. Exaggerate the chest out, shoulder blades back on this one. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you get the arms down. And then sweep up over the top, palms up. Reach up as high as you can. Bring the palms together. Hold it. See if you can push or drive the shoulders up just a little bit more using these muscles on the top of the neck to pull. And palms down. Bring it back down to the sides again. Shoulder blades are back. Chest is out. It's like doing a dive right here. Swan dive. And one more time. Palms up. Roll the shoulder blades back. Feel the shoulders stretch out as you roll those hands over. Bring it up to the top. And left arm down. Right arm stays up. We're going to go into a side bend. Bring it over the top. Sits bones stay on the chair. Again, back. Spine does one thing. We're bending it to the side. That's all you want. Don't lean forward or back. Hand, ear, and arm should be right in alignment. And other side, same thing. Flow it. Let the one side come up as the other goes down, giving you momentum. And then ear next to the inside of the upper arm. Bring it down. And back up. Bring both arms up overhead. Roll the shoulder blades back. Taking both arms, we're going to roll out to the side, feeling just a little more stretch as you do it. Let that top hand grab onto the bottom hand and pull just a little bit with that lower hand. Not a lot. You still don't want to pull that sits bones up off the chair. Back up on top, down on the other side, same thing. Roll it up and over. And nice and slow. Bring it back up again. Arms down, grab onto the back of the chair, chest out, shoulders back. Deep breath in and exhale, hands on the front, on the thighs, rolling the shoulders forward. Deep breath in, expanding the back, and grab onto the back of the chair, coming around. And back to the front. Couple more, then we'll take a break. Hands at the side, shoulders are back. We're going to do just the hands. Tip. Hands on the thighs. We're going to concentrate on just the fingers right now. So starting out, thumb to each finger. As you do that, extend, contract. Splay the fingers. Get as much length in them as you can, stretching out those joints, muscles around the joints. Up, back, out. Concentrate without looking on just where that fingertip is. Proprioception, knowing where your body is in space. That finger has to find each, or the thumb has to find each of the fingers. And if you can go a little faster with it, that's fantastic. If you can't, go as fast as you can. Get a feel for that. In and out. And we're good. Should feel that in the forearms. Good for grip strength. Next thing we're going to do is palms up. Rolling the thumb down on top of the palm. We're going to take the fingers and roll them over the top of that. Squeeze it as hard as you can. Shoulder blades are back. Don't lean forward. Don't bend down forward. Squeeze. Extend. This time fingers come in first, then the thumbs come over the top. Getting a little better stretch through the thumb, down the outside of the hand here. And relax, release, shake that out. Arms out front, palms right straight out. We're going to rotate the hands down and up again. Get as far around as you can, bringing the arms around, shoulders come in. and then take the hands and rotate. We're working the wrists, we're working the fingers, working the arms and the shoulders. Everything's involved here, all the way up to fingertips to shoulder. Around and up and back again. Arms down, shoulders back. We're going to take the hands and bring them up to the shoulders. Get as much stretch as you can. You want that upper and lower arm to touch. Bring them together and then reach back. Feeling the stretch on the outside of the stretch on the outside of the arms, and bring that back down again. Hold right there. Up, up, up. Hands on the shoulders, elbows come up. Feeling the stretch on the outside of the torso. Keep the elbows in. They should be right in alignment with the shoulders. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. And back down. And back down. Ooh, right there. All right. Coming up in front, palms facing each other, 90 degree in the elbows. Bring the shoulder blades back, squeeze them together nice and tight. Feel the stretch through the chest. Deep breath in, make sure you've got that neutral position, keeping the head up, looking right straight out in front of you. And elbows together, bring it all up front. And push right straight up overhead. Feel this in the outside of the chest, going through the arms, through the shoulders. And back down. Elbows out in that cactus. Roll the shoulder blades back. Chest is out. One more time. I just want to do each one of these stretches twice. First time gets those muscles warmed up a little bit. Second time gives you a little more stretch. Up. Back down nice and slow. Top of the arm. Upper arm is parallel with the floor. Bring it out to the outside. Bring the elbows into the torso. Rolling the shoulder blades back. Squeeze it out. One more time. Up. Hold right there. We're going to go up overhead into a wall slide, shoulders back. Bring the hands right straight up as high as you can get them. And back down one more time with that. We were supposed to have done this first before we did that last one. Up again. Stretching it out, stretching the chest out. Shoulder blades are back. Arms right straight up. Bring it back down. Now, elbows into the torso. Shoulder blades are back. Hands down. Shake that out. Grab a drink of water. First set. We're done. First half. We're going to go to the second half. We're still going to be seated. Going to work a little more on the lower body. When I say a little more, I mean some. Besides just that march. What is that? So the march is really important for the lower legs. Absolutely. But here, it's as important. If you can get out to the edge of the chair with that glute fold right between the butt and the thigh, if you can hold the shoulder blades back, get your butt right out to the edge and lift that leg, you're working the core. Lower abs are tightening up, helping to lift, but you're really working shoulder blades, core to keep you upright in that neutral position as you come up. If you lean forward each time you do it, you can pick the knee up higher, but that's not accomplishing anything. That's going to not help your posture. Not going to help your posture. All right. Couple more I want to do with the upper body first, though. And take the arms out front, stretch, palms down, elbows out to the side, scapular retraction, bringing those shoulder blades together and back, opening up the chest. Deep breath in and exhale, taking it forward. Reach out as far as you can. Don't lean into this. You still stay in that neutral position. Reach the arms out as far as you can, and then bring the elbows back, opening up the chest. So we stretch the upper back. Now we stretch the chest out, front and back of the shoulders. And hands on the thighs, bring the feet apart. We're going to go with a roll forward, bringing the shoulders down toward the floor, bending the back. Deep breath in, push up through the thighs, and bring the back up. Don't use the lower back. Don't just swing back up again. Take your time, use the hands. This time, flat back, going into a hip hinge, coming right straight down. Head stays up. So you got a straight line. You're looking right down at the floor and back up. Chin doesn't move. So when I say looking right straight down at the floor, the important thing is that the back, from the neck to the back, stays straight. So even as you come down, everything moves as one. And back up again. Chin doesn't come down to chest or shoulders roll forward. Keep the shoulder blades back and you work in that natural position, the neutral position. you're going to protect yourself a whole lot more. You're going to get a lot more stability. You're also going to have a lot more security as far as hurting a joint. All right, we're ready. Lower body. Foot up. Shoulder blades are back. Working this hip flexor up here. Get it as high as you can. And back down. How high you get it is up to your body. Ask it how high it can go. Right now, bring it up. Keep the shoulder blades back. And down one more time each side. Up. Make sure knee, toe, hip are all in alignment. This is what usually happens. Leg out to the side, foot in, straighten it out. If you have to, use your hands to get that alignment. Other side, same thing. Up. And back down. Shoulder blades back, hands up. Rotate through the shoulders to bring up to the knee and back. Other side, knee comes right straight up, lifting it as high as you can get. Doesn't matter how high is. Just get it up as much as you can, working these hip flexors. These are the muscles that lift the legs. So that when you walk, you pick your foot up. And back down, other side, around. And back. Turn it. And bring it back down one more time each side. Around. And back. Other side. And step it down. Remember, every time you bring up your foot, heel first, then ball of the foot, right straight up, and back down. Control the movement all the way up, but especially control the movement down. Don't let gravity just bring that right down. You don't want to plop the foot any more than you want to sit by plopping. Hands behind the thigh. Shoulder blades are back. Leg extension. Out. Working the quadriceps here to lift that lower leg. These shorten up. This comes up. And back down. Look down. Check your alignment. Toe, knee, hip. All straight out. And this is the one I see more than ever, that the foot goes out to the side. Forward. And back down. Shoulder blades are back. Chest is out. Leaning forward will let you bring that foot up higher. That's not what you're looking for. You want to get those muscles in the quadriceps to work. You want to strengthen or lengthen out the muscles in the back of the thigh. Those hamstrings stretch right here. And back down. On any of these, if you can, let go of the hand, keeping the posture, shoulder blades back. It's tons harder, but you may not have the strength in the lower abs to do this, or the hip flexors. Then hold on to the leg if you need to. But shoulders have to stay back. And down, other side, up, out. I'm going to hold on to warm it up. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out, up, and back down. Really the first time we've really gotten into the thighs like this. So I want to give them a chance to warm up a little bit. And then I can start bringing the foot out and back in, because this is so much harder without the hand behind it holding it. You'll feel a lot more work happening in the hip flexors from the front of the hips, about a quarter of the way down the thigh. And back in one more time, out, hold, and back in. Back to that other leg, toe up, knee extend, or leg extended, little bend in the knee, always a little bend in the knee. The other thing is make sure you're square to the foot that you're working with. If you're turned off to the side, that's putting extra stress on that lower back. Square yourself with the floor, with that foot, with that leg. And we're just going to roll the foot one side and back the other way. We're rolling the whole leg. So knee follows toe, up and around, working the muscles, working this joint, the hip joint, up and back down. So don't let the foot only move. That entire leg rolls out and back in again. Out and in. You should feel this all across the front of the hip, as well as the inner and outer thigh. Those muscles on the inside of the thigh are pulling the leg back in, and then the outside is tightening up, contracting to bring the foot back out again. Probably get a little more out of it each way, a little farther into that twist, and back in. Other side, same thing. Extending out that foot. Find your posture, ear, shoulder, hip, and rotate. Small movements at first. It's the thing I've really noticed whenever I do these exercises, all of them forever. The first ones never go as intensely or as having the range of motion. The first ones are always much smaller. And once those muscles start to warm up, you can actually see it happening. You can feel it happening. You're getting additional movement out of those joints than you were before. It's a great thing to recognize is that warming up is so important. If you go in with cold muscles, you are not getting the most out of your exercises. Around and back. And you can prove it to yourself just with exercises like this. Or the neck is another one that's really a good one where you get a little more stretch, a little more flexibility each time you do it. And back and in. Butt walking. Butt walking we're doing. I love butt walking. Pick up one sits bone, roll the hip back, squeeze, other side, back, and back. Now we get to go forward. Walk it to the edge, up. Feel the movement through the hips, through the hip joints. This is a great one for loosening up the hips, and hips are so tight. They get so tight. I have such a problem with that. Back and back, back and back. Before I go hiking, I have to stretch my hips. I have to. It's a requirement. Hip flexors, hips out. Otherwise, I get all sorts of crazy pains. And back again. We're going to walk out one more time. All the way back. Back against the back of the chair and forward. One sits bone at a time. Try not to move that opposite hip, the one that's stationed into the chair. Keep it right where it is so you're not waddling side to side to come up. Picking that sits bones up, rolling it forward, feeling the stretch through the back, through the hip, through the glutes. And then the other side, same thing. And down. Right. Wants me to go to upper body again. Palm up. Hand over the top. Reach back. Shoulder blades are back. Really important on this one is try to bring those shoulder blades back. But the best thing you can do is keep that elbow in towards the head. It should always be in alignment with the shoulder. Bring it right straight up. Hand on the shoulder blade of the same side and don't go across body. Right down, not putting stress on the shoulder and the elbow joint. And bring it back down, other side. There's more to this, but for right now, let's just get this taken care of. Bringing that elbow up. Ooh, I got a lot more stretch on that side. Elbow up, shoulder blades back. And back down again. Check it out. We're going back to that first side. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. All the way down and back. Take that other hand. Come around behind. Stretch. I could not even come close to touching fingers. I am not one of those people. Never have been. Just feel the stretch through there and bring it down. Whenever I do the testing, there's a senior testing program. This is one of the exercises. Yeah, I fail completely. Other arm, elbow up over the shoulder. Hand comes up the back. Roll the shoulder blades back, opening up the chest. And bring it back down again. Maybe you could. I couldn't. That just doesn't happen for me. Hands out, palms up, shoulder blades are back. Grip, grip, grip. Take the fingers. If you have some sort of a squishy ball or something, this is a great exercise for that. Bring it in, squeeze the fingers together, nice and tight. Hold them. Feel the muscles working through the hands, through the forearms, and then splay them back open again, nice and slow, getting as far as you can, fingers out as far as they'll go, and then bring them back in again. This is such an important exercise. This is a preventative exercise as well as helping if you already have issues with the fingers, with the joints. This will keep it from getting worse, keep it from happening, and slow the process down of those joints deteriorating. Bring it back, losing the flexibility in them, and back in, and hands on the thighs, fingertips on the thighs. We're going to walk the hands out. So fingers roll out and roll back. Just move them around. That's all this is for, is moving the fingers around. and back again. Walking like a spider, up and back, and back up. Okay, back to the legs. Leg out, little bend in the knee, toe back. So for this one, square to the shoulder, you're only going to go toward the foot. This isn't touching it. Worst thing you can do is that rotation a lot of people do to touch the foot. That's putting all sorts of stress on the back because they're also leaning forward and rotating. That's taking those vertebrae, putting them together one way, and then cranking on them at the same time. You just want that expansion through the side of it. So shoulder blades right square to the floor, looking right down at that foot, little bend in the knee. Bring the toe back as far as it'll come. With the shoulder blades back, really important. Get the shoulder blades back, chest is open. And then lean into it. Move the leg around. We're stretching from below the knee into the heel. Do whatever you need to do with that knee, with the shoulders, with the toe, so that you can only feel it in the bottom half of the leg. You don't want it behind the knee. We're not looking to get the upper half of the leg. Just those calf muscles. Shoulder blades are back. Find it. Nope. There we go. It's different every time. I can never find it the first time. It always takes a little bit of searching. That's why it's really important to sit into it for at least 30 seconds. At least 30 to 45 is really good. Letting those muscles get a chance to stretch out a little bit. First thing you do, come on back up. We're going to go with the foot out, toe out, shoulders back, little bend in the knee. You straighten it out just a little bit more than it was before. Same thing coming down, hand on the thigh so that you keep the shoulder blades back. And you want that stretch from the butt going down to above the knee. Again, move around, shoulder blades back, chest out. That's the first thing I do is get my chest out because that is what's going to create the most tension. If I roll forward, I'm taking all the stretch out of the hamstrings. So coming down into it. So you want to do it 30 to 45 seconds. The first time you do it, there's a sheathing on muscle that builds, and it shouldn't be there. It builds up automatically. We want to break that down first because the muscle won't stretch until that breaks down. First stretch breaks it down. Second stretch is the one that actually stretches the muscle. And back up again. Other leg, same thing. Toe back, knee bent, shoulder blades are back, and lean into it. And it's amazing how much tighter one side of my body is than the other on any given day. The other thing that happens is as muscles start to stretch, when they get to that point where they're not going to stretch anymore, the body will start working against that muscle, trying to pull it back again. There's a fiber that run the opposite direction of the muscle, and they'll try to pull it back. That's why you can only stretch so far. Otherwise, you're going to start pulling that muscle because you're just fighting the body, and you're not going to win. Either way, you're not going to win. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out, and relax the toe. Little bend in the knee. Come on down. Come on down to my boat, baby. Again, we're looking for the hamstrings above the knee to the butt. Get that stretch in there. Move around as much as you need to. If you don't feel it back there, straighten out the knee just a little bit more. See if you can get a little more stretch. Get the arms back behind you. Get the chest out. Those things will usually help. Relax the toe a little bit more. And nice and slow, pushing up. Use the hands to bring you back up again to center. And we're right there. Shoulder blades back. We're going to pick the leg up and bring it out. That alignment, working the muscles on both sides of the legs, working the core. You want this stationary leg to stay straight because when you walk, when you move, the one leg that's not moving, that stance leg, that brace leg should always be in alignment. If you start dropping that knee in, you're not only putting stress on the joint, you're throwing your body out of alignment. You're not over your base of support anymore. So you want to make sure that you're right in the middle, right up over that stationary leg, and back in. So the stationary leg, hip doesn't move, sits bone doesn't rotate. This leg comes out, you feel a stretch on the inner thigh. And again, to get the most out of it, knee and toe point in the same direction. Out. And back in again. One more time each side. Bring it out. Again, what we're doing, stretching these groin muscles is really important. There's another thing we lose total flexibility on. Range of motion through the hip is so important, and everything works against that range of motion in the hip. All these muscles work together. That hip is a universal joint. Up and out on the other side. Again, knee and toe in alignment with the hip, right straight out. And then bring it back in. Going back in time, going back to the thighs and to the groin muscles, taking the legs, shoulder blades are back, bringing the knees out. Let the feet come down on their side. Stretch out the feet as well, or the ankles. Shoulders are back. Come down as low as you can. Depending on how much flexibility you have in the ankles, that's going to determine how far down you can get the feet. Soles near each other, pointing towards each other. Feel like a yogi up on top of a mountain, sitting like this. And not that I've ever seen one, just in pictures, usually cartoons. All right, bring it back. My world, I determine reality based on cartoons. I do. All right, shoulder blades are back, chest is out, heels up, right here, calf muscles, whoop, up we come. But not only strengthening the calf muscles, we're stretching out the muscles in the front, those muscles around the shins. So we're tightening up those calf muscles, getting them nice and tight, stretching out the front, and then coming down. Remember, as you go up, you want to get really conscious of coming up on the ball of the foot. Toes are on the floor, but the work, the weight is in the ball of the foot, and the ball of the foot is completely flat on the floor. Don't let yourself flare out to the outsides. Bring them in. You want to feel that knuckle of the big toe on the floor all the way across and back down. One more time. Up. Shoulder blades back. Don't lose your posture. I didn't have a lot. My shoulders will roll forward a little bit, but I could still get a lot of movement back again. And back down. Here's the hard one. Here's the hard one. Toes up. And when I say toe, I mean the whole front of the foot. I've always had a problem with that. When they say toes up, I want to lift just the toes, but they mean the foot. Up. Shoulder blades are back. Get that foot up as high as you can. Feel the muscles working in the front of the thigh or in front of the shins. And the calf muscles are stretching out here, the ones we just worked so hard. And bring it back down. This is a very limited move, but you want as much as you could possibly get out of it. Up. You need to be able to lift that toe up. You need the muscles to be strong in the front of the leg, in the front of the ankle, so that you can lift that toe. So when you're stepping up onto things, you can get that toe up instead of tripping because you can't lift the toe up. And again, this is one, flexibility is a huge piece of it. We lose that distance that we can get the toe up. Sometimes you can only get it up a little bit. Strength and flexibility play into that. And back down again. Walking the feet out. Toes, heels, toes, heels. Back in. Take it slow. Get as far as you can. We're not letting the knees turn too. The knees stay right where they are. We turn at the ankles. Flexibility through the ankles. Out. Out. Walking back in again. And in. There. And there. Extend one leg out. Other leg, ankle on the ankle. Ankle to ankle. Figure four. One leg down. The other, one of these things like a four. Bring that leg up as high on a stationary leg as you can. If you can get it up to the knee, perfect. If you can't, who cares? This is a great exercise for osteoarthritis, lower back. It is one of them that they highly recommend doing, and it's hinging at the hip. So once you get that leg wherever it is for you that's there, roll the shoulder blades back. Make sure you're on the edge of the chair on this one, and lean into it, feeling the stretch up the back, feeling the stretch to the outside of the hip. There was some clunking that went around in there. Felt like everything went into place. I'm not sure that's what happened, but that's what it felt like. Other side. Roll the shoulder blades back. Bring that ankle up as high as you can on the stationary leg and come on down. So I used to teach this bringing the ankle all the way up and getting that knee down. It's really hard to do. That is really hard. I had people hurting their hip flexors trying to get it up there. And when you pull a hip flexor, it's a long time for them to heal. So I want you to be really careful with that. Only bring it up as high as you can. You're going to feel it stretching the outside of the hip, going into the lower back and going down into the glutes. And bring it back up again. Bring the feet in. Apart, let's stretch out that lower body. Hands on the thighs and just fall in between. Keep the chest out, head up, straight line from the back of the head all the way to the tailbone. Deep breath in, exhale. Push up through the thighs. Use a push up on this upper body, not the lower back. Walk the feet in just a little bit. Still leave yourself some room. We're going to come down towards the floor. This time rolling the shoulders down, reaching underneath the chair. So as you're coming down, you're reaching down as far or back as far as you need to, keeping the chin above the chest. Don't want to let the head go below the heart. Causes dizziness. Hands up on the thighs, and then again, push up using the hands instead of the lower back to lift that all back up again. And right there you go. Fingers intertwined, palms up to the ceiling. Should be easy now. Shoulder blades are back. Deep breath in, exhale, bringing the hands behind the back, grabbing onto the back of the chair, roll the shoulder blades back as far as they will possibly go. Put yourself into a lean into the chair as you're doing this to really get those shoulder blades back. Deep breath in through the nose, push out the stomach. That's why I keep my legs apart so I can get my stomach between there. It's like same as when I do yoga. Come on down. Exhale, shoulders down, chin up. Pushing the stomach out, exhale as you come up. Turn that into an inhale as you bring the hands around to the back, fill the lungs up, push the stomach out, and to the front again, roll the shoulders. And bring it back in again. Underneath the legs, grab on. Force yourself down, your stomach into the thighs as hard as you can. Pull. And then back up, in through the nose, getting as much air into the lungs as possible. Forcing the stomach out. When you do that, you should feel the lungs open up right about middle of the body, right at the sternum there. And exhale as you come down. Again, forcing all the air out. You want to get as much air out of you. You've used up the oxygen in it. And bring it back up, filling your lungs with fresh air, full of oxygen that'll go into the bloodstream, making everything work so much better. And bring the arms down. Practice that meditative breathing. It's really important. If you can watch videos on it, it's really, really good. Bring the arms down at the side and roll the shoulders.